Oh, here we go. I know a lot of y'all started hating me the moment I started shitting on Rudy for the slave thing, but he literally just suggested going off to the slave market. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and of course we are back with the Mushoku Tensei catch-up, I guess is what we're calling it. We are 7 episodes, I think, from being all the way caught up and me being able to start the next, well, core, I guess. I was about to say season. It's the core. Of course, doing this live on stream, so I mean, by the time this goes up on YouTube, the stream thing will be over for this, but of course, if you're watching anything else that I watch, hop on over to the Twitch. I guess Fridays are the days I'll be doing this now. Otherwise, let's see, do I have the board thing? Anyway, there we go, the board. This is, of course, the old one, but this is the one with the least amount of work that I need to rejigger back into it. So yeah, you know, oh, sorry, I could say I don't remember who this guy is. Genius Half-Ass. Genius Half-Ass. The school teacher guy, the principal, I think, maybe? But yeah, we got everybody that we've met so far, or will meet again. Say, White Mask Lady. One of the things I've been considering, center of the board, by the way, one of the things I have been considering is how to best incorporate the board with the viewers, you guys. And I don't implicitly know how to do that. Like, I appreciate that me scrolling around like this isn't that interesting to see when you're watching a stream, right? It's like, I enjoy having this knowledge, I enjoy putting all this together, but that doesn't really mean much if I don't, like, figure out how to share this. But anyway, that was a lot of time wasted on absolutely nothing. So, that's just the board. Y'all know what the board is like. I seem to have lost my ability. There we go. I seem to have lost my ability to scroll out for a second. Anyway, let's go ahead, I guess, and just hop on into the show.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I
don't know if I brought it up before, but it very much does remind me of Ready Player One. When the main character has to go off and live on their own and everything. And they had this whole regimen of getting into shape and being healthy and whatnot. I don't know much about Japanese cooking, but it does look like fried chicken to me. Or chicken fingers or something. I mean, if she doesn't do it, she'll die. It's a fucking curse. I guess at the very least it's a curse that she enjoys. Do we know much about the holy country of Milis? That sounds very familiar, but I don't... top of my head.
禁術として指定されているせいか、あまり詳しいことは載っていない。フィッツ先輩が教えてくれた転移の迷宮探索機が一番詳しく載っているかもしれない。
I have to believe
一日の生活サイクルができ、
that Human God sent him here specifically so that Fitz could recommend him that book so that he could then go on later to rescue his mother from the little labyrinth that she's trapped in. I mean, that's my belief, based on the fact that I know nothing about what comes from second core. Because if I had to guess anything, obviously it would be that Sylphet and Rudy go on together. I don't know, in a marriage? Literally, it's the last thing I remember happening, so it's the only thing I can think of. But I have to believe. Sorry, I had to let the drop play at the very least. I have to believe that he's going to go on to save Zenith. I can't believe that they would finish season 2 without Zenith getting rescued. I believe I also stated my whole thing about the birds representing the different women in Rudy's life. A theory that I only put together after the last episode that me and Griffin watched. Something that's been sitting in my notepad forever. Although that's a white bird, so I don't know what that one represents.
rudeus 君、隣いいかな。
Oh, well, maybe it was still fat. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot.
悪いね。
なかなかノリのいい人のようだ。
調べ物を進んでる？
どうでしょうね。ん？その本、転移の？
ああ、実は僕の知り合いもあの転移で行方不明になってね。
それは何と言えばいいか。
いや、最近になって生きていることは分かったんだ。
あ、そうなんですか？
うん。でも結局僕は探しには行けなかったわ
Again, the element here that I don't feel like I'm going to have much input on is the relationship here.
そのルーデウス君、物は相談なんだけど。
何でしょうか？
Only specifically because I know how it ends up, right? That's the bit we all remember.
手伝わせてほしいんだ。君は嫌かな。たまに来るだけの相手に口出しされたりするのは。
いえいえ、嫌じゃありません。よろしくお願いします。
Then the whole gag is, you know, Rudy doesn't remember or can't figure out that Fitz is Sylphet. Rudy thinks, oh, am I gay? You know?
じゃあ早速だけど、
Everyone around Fitz knows that Fitz is Sylphet.
先の傾向とかが分かれば
Mocks Rudy for not being able to figure it out.
男相手に。いや、まさかな。気の迷いだろ。フィッツ先輩とは仲良くなってきていると思う。もっとも彼は謎が多い。
先輩はどうしてサングラスをつけているんですか？
I still have no idea how this is going to work out if Eris ever shows back up.
ちょっと理由があって言えないんだ。ごめんね。
いえ、先輩って寮の何階に住んでるんですか？
一応女子寮の方に寝泊まりしてるんだ。アリエル様の護衛だし。
それは問題は起きないんですか？
I guess the confusing bit about this
許可は取ってるし。
is why wouldn't you ask about the other bodyguard who's also a man? Why they don't stay in the girls' dorm? Unless they do, in which case I'm just completely forgetting.
男子生徒という例外が許されているのは、アリエル王女とフィッツ先輩個人が信頼されているのだろう。
先輩って僕とは普通に話していますよね。
どういうこと？
無口な方って聞いてましたけど。
僕結構人見知りするんだよ。
その割には俺には自分から話しかけてきたように思ったが。
フィッツ先輩は小さな頃から無影響魔術を使っ
Not
ているん
great
ですか？
either way, in that you don't have a ramp going over to the bridge.
今日は雪も質問してくるね。
Because otherwise you gotta like pop a wheel
昔
if you
師
wanted
匠
to.
に助けてもらって、その時に頼んで習い出したんだ。すごい人でね。今でも尊敬してるんだ。
そうなんですか。それは僕も会ってみたいものですね。
Oh, you know him pretty well.
それは無理じゃないかな。
なんでですか？
なぜこの笑顔を見ると胸が高鳴るのだろうか。俺は決してそういう趣味ではないはずなのだが。
僕はアリエル様に用事があるから。
Not that it would matter if
また
you
今度
did.
よろしくお願いします。
謎の多い男、フィッツ先輩。彼が俺に協力的なのもやっぱり謎だった。ただ人神の助言に従って動き、出会った彼と接することでいつか病の治療に関する手がかりがつかめるはずだ。
I really hope that the implication isn't that Sylphet is just the cure for the ED,
彼は変態である。行き過ぎ
and
た
that the
非業
romance
オタクと
isn't
でも言うの
real.
だろうか。
Because as much as I don't, Sylphet's not my choice. Oh man.
彼は人形を愛している。偏愛している。
Okay, as much as Sylphet's not my choice amongst the group, I still wish her no ill will,
フィ
right?
ギュアを使用したことがあるのだから。
She's just an innocent girl. She don't need, you know, to be hurt.
俺はそんなザノバに対し、もう少し待てと言い続けていた。本来の目的とはかけ離れていたのもあり、きっかけがつかめなかったのだ。
ザノバよ、我が修行は厳しいぞ。
無論です、師匠。
その息はよし。では奥義を伝授しよう。
はい、師匠。
俺たちの人形制作は始まったばかりだ。
Oh, that's right. Trying to teach him incantationless magic, right? Because, you know, Sylphet could do it, which implies other people can do it. Also, the fact we know other people can do it. Rudy's not the first one.
すまん。
いいえ、世がもっと優秀であれば。
よし、方法変えよう。
別のやり方があるのですか？
ええ、極力魔力を使わない方向でいきましょう。
それをどうするのですか？
削り出します。
Just normal ass
それは
sculpting.
最も現象的で最も確実な、しかし難しい方法だ。それなら魔力のないものでも可能なはずだ。
なるほど、師匠、これなら世にもできそうですな。
ああ、希望はいとも簡単に打ち
I would have to think if he couldn't do
ザノバ
normal
は手先が
sculpting,
器用ではなかったのだ。
that the magic version would be just as well. I guess you could imagine shit that you're unable to do, so you could imagine a shape that you're unable to
世には
shape.
師匠のようにはできません。
ということが昨日ザノバと会ったのです。
人形を作るの？魔術で？
はい。こんな感じです。
何それ？
I don't remember. Did he ever make a sculpture of Sylphet?
できないや。これは普通の人には真似できないよ。
そうですね。別の方法としては土の塊から削り出すというものもありますが。
手先が不器用だからでき
I
ない。
wonder if at some point in the future, Rudy starts
そうだね。
animating
参考
those
になるかどう
sculptures.
かわからないけど、アスラの王都にも似たような人がいたよ。
似たような人ですか？
うん。 自分でやりたいんだけど、能力も技能も
I
ない
mean,
って人が
specifically,
ね
they keep implying that
その人
what he
はどう
does
し
is
ていたんで
unique
すか？
to him and no normal person could do it.
その奴隷にやらせていたんだ。
その手がありましたか。一度ザノバに聞いてみてから次の月休みに奴隷市場に行ってみますよ。
うん。いい子が見つかるといいね。
Oh, here we go. I know a lot of y'all started hating me the moment I started shitting on Rudy for the slave thing, but he literally just suggested going off to the slave market.
次のお休み。
そうなんですか。
He was fine with it.
先輩も一緒に行きますか？
いいの？邪魔にならないかな。
いえいえ、アドバイスをもらったお礼に食事でもおごりますよ。
そう。じゃあごちそうになります。
I'd also like to reiterate the fact that characters can have flaws and you can address those flaws, and it doesn't mean the character is horrible. I mean, the flaws can be
ザノ
horrible.
バ、今回の一件を提案してくださったのはフィッツ先輩だ。その敬意を
Don't
払
put
え。
characters on pedestals, is all I'm saying. We can recognize them for who they are without having to defend every aspect of the character.
ザノバシーロンと申します。以後お見知りおきを。
いや、いいんだよ。です。王族の方がそんな、やめてください。
では顔合わせも済んだところで行きましょうか。
Knowing it's a slave market, the idea that they've decorated this alleyway with chains is a bit off-putting as well.
師匠、どうするのですか？
僕も買うのは初めてですので、まずは適当に見て回りましょう。
本当にみんな裸になるんだ。大きいな。あんな風になってるんだ。
実に DT らしい反応だ。俺にもああいう頃があった。今はほらちょっと別の理由でさ。
ルーデウス君はこういうの慣れてるんだね。
先輩も経験を積めば多少は慣れるかと思いますよ。
そうかな。っていうかルーデウス君経験あるんだ。
師匠、戦士には用はないでしょ
I know everyone addresses my first time commenting on this about how he was cool with the slave trade based on those comments, and what he actually means is about sex. At the same time, he is entirely cool with the slave trade. And you're like, well, what's he gonna do? He's in a different world and it's normal here. Your morals aren't based on what's normal. Abolitionists fought against slavery not because anti-slavery was normal. Doing what's right and doing what's the normal are not the same thing.
確かに教本にはそう書いてあるけど、師匠と僕の実体験からするとそれは間違いだよ。
やはりそう聞くと
Even worse, again, that Rudy comes from a world where slavery existed, and by the time that Rudy comes from, it's accepted as an absolute evil. In fact, a crime against humanity. And he just forgets it. He's a 35-year-old man who has just re-accepted slavery.
一人いたぞ。ドワーフ6歳のジョージだ。親の借金で
Anyway, that's all I'm going to go on about it. Obviously, this is just a... This, for me, is the hard point of Rudy that I have difficulty getting over. The same way as rediscovering that Paul was a rapist, as it turns out. Just elements of the characters that are sore spots, that's all. really feels odd that his badge,
だな。
the badge on Rudy's chest, feels like it's animated in a different style than everything else.
おい、出ろ。あまりおすすめの商品とは言えねえが。
God, even that, right? You're just outside of a magic school. Magic doesn't have a cost association.
水砲撃 BPS にルーデス
Everyone could just get healed all the time.
アイシャディエフシュジアスマサックスボーイディオケオッケ
See? The cruelty of men, as it were.
師匠、どうしまし
And
た
by men, I mean humanity. I'm not trying to be a sexist thing.
希望も何もなくて死にたいやつの顔です。
師匠はそんなものを見たことがあると。
昔何度もね。
懐かしい目だ。俺もこんな目をしていた。現状を絶望し、何もかもを投げ出したいと思ってい
I
た。
have a hard time believing someone like Rudy in his past life would have stared in the mirror to know what his eyes looked like in that state.
ボシャーヤリシュクはボアエスナヨナージュニュピューイオディテペケス
俺に彼女の人生を救ってやることはできない。そりゃ、ここで彼女を購入し、仕事を与えてやることはできる。けど、それが救いではないことを、俺はよく知っているつもりだ。やりたくないものを無理やりやらされても、決して救いではない。むしろそれなら、終わらせてやった方がいい。
レクスマサークス
But either then you become a criminal or you'd have to pay for her anyway. It's, I guess, better dead and paid for than suffering and alive.
バシャデイボイバシャジデイボイ
いいだろう。そんなもんだ。それでいい。生きたいじゃなくていい。死にたくないで。とりあえずいい。
The odd decision that the show decided it needed a Raftalia, I guess.
ところでルーデウス君、この子の名前はなんていうの？
エハスヨヒディ
ネクサージュ。
エハスヨジアイエリ
ジビュエサイエスキャディキスイガハイキュエスバサラリリテラサイエスニア。
製鉄のバザルと美しき。
あ、そうか。ドワーフは7歳になるまで正式な名前をつけてもらえないんだ。
I don't know, Latelia seemed like a name.
僕らでつけてあげるしかない、
Unless
ね。
that's a location, I just don't know it.
女の子だし、可愛い名前にしてあげよう。
ザノバ、君の意見を聞こう。
では、ジュリアスと。
それ、男の名前ですよね。
はい。かつて世が力加減を誤って殺してしまったかわいそうな弟の名前です。
せめて女の子だし、ジュリエットぐら
I
い
mean, it has a.
世はそれで構いません。
いい名前だね。
I was gonna say strength. That's not the word I meant to use. It has a
ジュリエット。
a meaning behind it at the very least. He didn't say it out of nothing.
ジュリ。
Women in this show really hate having et at the end of their name.
ザノバと一緒に生活することになったジュリ
Sylphette we call Sylphie.
普段はザノバの世
Juliet
話を
we
し
call Julie.
昼には俺から語学と無影小魔術を習うことになった。こうして俺とザノバの人形計画はここから少しずつ前進していくこととなる。
Well, for all the pausing I did at the beginning, I didn't expect the show was about to end the episode. Yeah, as I said before, for me, this is like the most problematic episode of the show. Yeah, I'll say that. I know there's an upcoming episode I really had a problem with too, but that one is more of a character problem episode than it is a society level episode. Well, I guess the situation here is that we are doing a live stream, so I can just read out your comments. So why not? Alex V9 is live with us here. Someone more versed than me in the novel explained to me that rudeus does think that this situation is wrong, but that he does not see a way to solve it without causing a conflict on a global scale, since it would go against the norms of society, similar to what happened in our world, only on a larger scale due to the use of magic in war. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was thinking it during the episode, but there's a situation of having too many thoughts in my head to say out loud. Otherwise, I just talk over the whole thing of everybody that's ever thought what you would do if you were alive back then. Sorry, now I'm just remembering that both of my problematic episodes are back to back. The character problem episode is next episode. But yeah, no, the thing I was just saying, I know a lot of people think, what would they do if they were alive back then? And the situation is, well, one, you have the morals of the modern day and not the morals of living back then. Odds are, you'd probably go along with it because it's the normal thing. Now, granted, you could end up being an abolitionist or one of many situations which would cause you to believe that slavery was wrong back in the days of slavery. But the greater majority of people either were apathetic or went along with it. So, to say that is, I feel like, a misconstruement of who you are rather than what you think you believe. At the same time, as I've said before, Rudy is a modern person in those times. So the fact that he doesn't have any outward apparent problem with it, like you'd think if he did have a problem with it, he'd express something. This is an anime. We get internal monologues all the time. We have outward, like, shock expressions. He didn't do anything. I mean, we saw him before when he had to save all the Doldelia girls and the dog god, whatever, from capture. And he kind of just like sat back in silence and quiet as Rujard killed all the slavers and the kidnappers and whatnot. So we know he's fine with that, right? He's fine with having them killed because he recognizes it's wrong at some level. But then the fact he just openly engages with it here in season 2, that's what's off-putting to me. The lack of development from then to here. Again, I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. Next episode, he kidnaps some girls in high school, ties them up, makes them piss themselves, makes fun of them, whatever, and then frees them later on. It is a unacknowledgement of the journey that Rudy has been on, because what caused Rudy to become a shut-in? He got stripped down, tied to a gate, people took pictures of him, made fun of him, etc. And it ruined his fucking life, and then he does it to 2 girls, right? It's like he found these girls that were kidnapped and were going to get sold into slavery, and then goes to buy slaves. Like, it's not even the fact that this is a special girl that he was like, oh, I can save her. He just, I'm gonna go to the slave market. You know? It's a thing he acknowledged. I'm not questioning what can he do to change the world. Well, I mean, he is a main character of an anime, but it's a more realistic anime. My question isn't what can Rudy do to change the world. Even your most insane, world-changing, real-world examples could only convince crowds, do crazy things to try and incite change, and died before any major change could even happen. So yeah, can Rudy change the world? Maybe. I don't think so. Can Rudy support the trade by paying people money for people? Obviously he did. I don't... The tact that Rudy is taking is one of, well, if I'm rich enough, I could just buy all the slaves. I was like, I don't know. I don't think there's any happy solution here. I'm going to be unhappy with it, and I can't think my way out of being unhappy with it. It is just not good. At the end of the day, I would almost hope that they wouldn't have introduced the concept, but they did a long time ago. It's in the world. Now they're exploring what that means, and I appreciate that the show is realistic enough to look at these problems. But again, it's a problem that has no good solution. Apparently they skipped that part for the anime. Well, like you said, I don't know. I don't know that this would ever have been satisfactory. The problem is that slavery is not an issue that you can just hand wave. I guess only because it's one, real, and two, non-personal. Most of Mushoku Tensei, I feel like, deals with personal problems, right? Rudy has, I was about to say mental issues, but that's not what I mean to mean. Rudy has psychological problems. Rudy has erectile dysfunction. Rudy has problems connecting with people socially. These are internal concerns that a character can develop over time and work their way through with interaction, outward assistance, magic apparently, etc. Slavery is a societal issue. It is a worldwide evil. It is a greater concern than the emotional journey of a single character. That's what I'm saying. It is the crystal skull of Indiana Jones, right? It just doesn't fit in with everything else that we're dealing with. That's my problem. Again, it doesn't ruin the show for me. It is just a sticking point that I wouldn't have had to deal with otherwise, in much the same way, again, as I pointed out before, of Paul turning out to be a rapist. I didn't know Paul was a rapist in the past, the first time we watched, and now I have that information in the back of my head. No matter how fun Paul is, no matter how good of a dad he turns out to be, no matter what his intentions are to save people, I'll always know when he was younger, he sexually assaulted a woman who then he married in the future. I don't know. It's a very weird thing. But it does always tint my opinion of Paul. Either way, if I continue on with this, I'm just going to keep going forever. So, this is going to be this episode, Season 2, Episode 6, I Don't Want to Die. Once again, I have been Theta. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?